Yeah, let's take a look at what we're seeing here today. Um, we'll pull out here a bit. The trend line today has been basically negative all day. We do have some support here around 567.32 on the QQQ, but we do see people getting into puts. The put call ratio has spiked here in the last 5 minutes or so. The VIX is starting to light up a little bit. We do have continued selling pressure across the advance and decline line in general. So the trade that I placed here just before the stream is 570, 567 short call spread. That means I'm selling the 567 calls and I purchased the 570s. The trade was initiated at about $1.32. It's currently trading at 72 cents. It's 30 contracts, so that means we're up about $1,500 right now. If we end the day below 567, that means that we will profit roughly $4,000 in total. Currently, we're sitting at about $2,000 profit, so not bad. This is our stop up here. I will probably pull that down a little bit here, depending on where we go here. The thing about this market is it's full of surprises lately, but I think we're past a lot of the big news. I mean, Europe today, this created a lot of pre-market good feelings, a lot of kind of pumping going on here, but the fact that we're selling off after this news does make it feel like a sell the news event. And the only other trade deal that's worth noteworthy that's sitting out there still is China, and that deadline was moved out to August 12th, and there's talk of that deadline being moved out further. So if we get news that that deadline is moved out again, that probably is one last pump that we'll see here in the next week or two. There's also the rate decision by the Fed coming up. I personally don't think they're going to move on the rates just yet. I think the Fed is pretty stubbornly set on seeing what the outcome of tariffs are on the economy. They are very afraid of inflation getting out of hand. Part of the issue with lowering rates now is, frankly, the bond market. And you can see this with the longer end of the curve on the 20-year here. But the bond rates have been going up. The yields have been going up. So if they're to lower rates against what the market is calling for, essentially, that might make it appear as though they're losing control of the bond market, which I think to a degree they did over the last year, and that's not a good place for the Fed to be in. They want to be kind of, I mean, they never lead the market. There's a lot of data to show this, but they don't want to be disconnected from the market either. That would then imply that they don't have control over the market, and that would be a bad place to be. Okay, well, we're having a big move down here in the last few seconds. That's worth another $700-800. I'm going to go ahead and actually move my stop down. So our trade's trading at 58 cents now. I'm going to move my stop down to 80 cents. So you'll see the little green line tick down. So far, an excellent trade for today. Again, every moment that the market's open and we are closer to this 567 number or below it is all theta decay that we're collecting, because as a reminder, we sold the calls, the 567 calls, and we bought the 570 as upside protection. And then, as you can see, the reason that this strategy works so well is, if the stock market went up to 570 or above before the close, this would just not only wipe out my position, but then also cause a $4,000 to $5,000 loss. But we do have our stop here pretty tight. I'm on TD Ameritrade, and I've noticed even in some of these cases where the market spikes that the stops are respected pretty well. So sometimes there's a 10 or even a 20 cent slip, which in a trade like this would be like a $600 loss away from your stop. But it's that's acceptable. I would rather slip on 600 than lose 4,000 or 5,000. So just gonna slip into the 1 minute here and just see how we're doing. I think as long as we are below kind of 567.40, I will stay in the trade here. If we breach above 567.40, I'll want to get out. So actually, you know what, I'll just go ahead and drop my stop down to 70 here, 70 cents. We'll do 75. Just drop it down here a little bit more. Because entirely possible that we V up out of this. It's been very common here lately. That being said, the put call ratio, a lot of people are getting into puts right now, so I've seen this happen, and then the market just absolutely tank before. Also, the VIX did just spike, but it's coming off of that spike. The ticks are going up, so this could be the start of pulling out of this. So yeah, anyway, so far so good. A good trade. Like I said, entered right around this time period here. It's a short call spread, so selling the 567s and buying the 570s. We'll see if our stop gets hit here or if the market just keeps bleeding. But again, as a reminder, full profit is 567 or below at the end of the day. These are 0 days to expiration, 30 contracts. So it's entered right about here at 132. That's a $4,000 position. We're currently sitting at a $2,200 profit, so $2,000 profit so far today on that. I have been moving my stop down because we have been in a place with this market where it has V'd up even towards the end of the day pretty regularly. So like I said, if we get into our localized support, which is now resistance, if we push up into that, I'll get out of the trade. But it looks like we might be starting to curl back down here. Yep. So I like to sell theta. I like to be working with the decay. So some people right now would be buying long puts on the 0 day to expiration. I don't like to do that because you're just battling theta decay. It's in my position, why not have as much advantage in the market as you can? In this case, advantage is using theta decay to work with you. So not only is the market going in the right direction, but theta decay is going in the right direction. It's just essentially setting yourself up for a win-win. And so it does cost a little bit more to get into this trade because I do have to buy this upside protection. Even if I was set up for it, I would not want to take the risk of not having the upside protection. Again, the market's just been a little silly, lately, big moves. So it's, everyone has their own risk profile. Mine is a little bit more cautious there. I just would not want to put myself in a bad place, So anyways, this appears to be previous support here. It might turn into resistance. I might have my stop set a little too tight here, but it's $2,000. It's not a lot of money, but it's it's enough for, a good day trade. So I'm not going to lose it. Any day you're making money is a good day in the stock market. So it's best to keep those gains. And that's what I intend to do. So another thing to note is the MACD right here is starting to roll over. Where else have we seen the MACD roll over? Boom, right here. And what happened? We had a drop from about 564 to about 558. When else did we have a strong rollover? Right here. This is, again, it rolled over. We went from about 560 to, well, we'll just call it 551 in the course of a day. So, this rollover, when's the last time before that? Here's a pretty strong rollover where it's ticked over and went from 555 to 549. So, I kind of feel like the market's ready for a nice little 5-point pullback. And then we have some economic data coming up, like I said, rates, unemployment, all that stuff. So there are some catalysts where we could see that pullback. Sometimes I like to, if you're trading the QQQ, it's good to kind of bounce around, see how some of the core components are doing. So Apple's not looking super healthy. Nvidia is starting to roll over. AMD is kind of looking flat it's obviously it's up 4%, but when I say flat for the day, I'm talking about kind of where it's been trading here. Getting close to our stop, so this might be the end of the trade for today, so we'll see. Some of the other indices are starting to find a localized bottom, so it might be best just for me to get out of this trade. I think I'll just let the stop do its work. It's pretty close. Oh, there it goes. So out at 77 cents, in at 132. So let's see, that makes for a $1,800 profit on the day. So a little slip on that stop, but that's fine. So with that, it's another successful trade. I will stop trading for the day with an 1,800 gain on this one position. I do have other positions open, but for the sake of the channel, this is the day trade for today. As you can see, you want to get theta working in your theta. You want the trend working, so trend, theta, get everything working in your favor, and good luck trading, everyone.